Brothers and sisters across Africa, the dawn of a new era is upon us. Our continent has the youngest population in the world. 70% of sub-Saharan Africans are under age 30. By 2050, 1 in 3 15-34-year-olds on Earth will be African. This is not a problem to fix, but a powerful advantage, the largest army of innovators and dreamers in history. But too often our energies are stifled by poverty, conflict, and the lingering grip of foreign interests. Today we sound the alarm no more. The fire of freedom ignites in the hearts of our youth, and we will not be silent. For decades, we have faced the ghost of colonialism in new forms, military bases on our soil, unfair trade deals, and debt that enslaves our economies. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's young head of state, calls this out plainly. It's not really terrorism, it's imperialism. Their goal is to keep us in a state of permanent war so that we cannot develop, and they can continue to plunder our resources. He speaks truth to power. The crises in our villages and cities are often symptoms of a deeper struggle, a fight for true independence and dignity. And this fight belongs to you, the youth of Africa. The continent's future is in our hands. We have seen in history what happens when a generation rises up. One voice can start an echo that becomes a movement. Imagine the fire of Bamako spreading to Lagos, Nairobi, Johannesburg, and Cairo. Imagine young engineers, farmers, and artists coming together to rewrite our destiny. This is the promise of our generation to replace neo-colonial chains with knowledge, justice, and self-determination. We cannot shy away from the truth. Neo-colonial forces still shape our world. Foreign armies, transnational corporations, and corrupt leaders often act as though Africa's people are second class. Too many of our parents and neighbors live in misery, while outsiders reap the benefits of our soil and minerals. But we will not accept this narrative. We declare Africa's destiny belongs to Africans. As Traoré reminds us, we have been kept in a state of permanent war so that we cannot develop. Yet development is our birthright. Our soil can feed the world. Our talents can engineer a new tomorrow. Our creativity can lead the world in art, technology, and sustainability. We must free ourselves from any arrangement that sacrifices our children's future for short-term gain. That means demanding true sovereignty. No more foreign governments dictating our policies. No more predatory loans that drain our finances. No more exploitation of our resources. As the African Union's Vision 2063 proclaims, all remnants of colonialism will have ended and all African territories under occupation fully liberated. We owe it to ourselves and to our ancestors to make that vision real. This is a fight of ideas as much as armies. We must think critically and question everything. Why do our schools lack books while our leaders sign deals overseas? Why do we see foreign flags, not ours, at peacekeeping missions? Why do neighbors starve while companies profit from our harvests? When our youth wrestle with these questions, they join a long lineage of liberators. Today, you have the voice and the platform, through social media, through protests, through community radio, to broadcast the truth that change is coming. Consider the example of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Africa's youngest head of state. In October 2022, a 34-year-old artillery captain with a boyish face catapulted onto the world stage. He emerged from an armored vehicle in Ouagadougou wearing fatigues and a red beret, smiling and raising his thumb to cheering crowds. That moment shattered expectations. A generation raised after colonialism had taken power in Burkina Faso. Traoré did not seize power for himself. In interviews, he insisted he would hand over to civilians once security was restored. He declared, "We did not come to continue. We did not come for a particular purpose. All that matters when the level of security returns is the fight, its development." In those words, he captured a spirit of service and vision. He made clear that leadership is not about clinging to power, but about solving problems of war, hunger, and education for the people. Since taking office, Traoré's government has moved swiftly to reclaim Burkina Faso's sovereignty. French troops were ordered out, and local volunteer forces mobilized. He reached out in solidarity to fraternal neighbors like Mali and Niger to forge new partnerships on equal terms. Every action sends a message. We must rely on ourselves and our allies in Africa, not on masters who once oppressed us. Captain Traoré's rise has inspired youth throughout Africa. Analysts note that the emergence of Captain Ibrahim Traoré has reignited confidence in Pan-Africanism and inspired the youth throughout Africa. This beacon of hope has triggered aspirations among citizens across the continent regarding how their countries should be governed. He has become a symbol, a star of anti-imperialism and patriotism, showing that someone like him, young and committed, can stand up to the old order. We do not claim to emulate all his methods, but we celebrate his courage and example. He shows that young people can lead armies and ideas. He shows that service to country is the highest honor. Let his story echo in every city and village. A young African soldier became a leader not by asking permission, but by answering the call of his people. Our vision for Africa's future is built on clear values and principles. We must hold these as our guiding lights. We will determine our own destiny. No outside power must control our markets, resources, or politics. Agenda 2063, Africa's blueprint for 2063, rightly insists on this. All remnants of colonialism will have ended and all African territories under occupation fully liberated. We claim that promise. Every policy we adopt, every program we build, will center on the needs and wisdom of our people. We are brothers and sisters, from Cape to Cairo, the African diaspora included. We will break down the artificial borders left by colonial cartographers. The AU affirms that the spirit of Pan-Africanism should be entrenched across the continent. This means cooperation in politics, trade, culture, and defense. When one African nation suffers, the whole continent must come to its aid. We pledge to listen to each other, share knowledge, and stand together against common challenges. Our solution to poverty and dependency is not more charity, but the unleashing of creativity and enterprise. As Brookings notes, entrepreneurship is the key to unlocking Africa's potential. Young people and women are leading this charge. Yes, we have entrepreneurs in every village, farmers, techies, craftsmen with bold ideas. We will support them, invest in skills, and celebrate homegrown innovations. By turning our ideas into businesses and jobs, we break the cycle of aid and create wealth for our communities. We will not be afraid to ask hard questions or stand up for what is right. Courage means speaking truth to power, whether that power wears a foreign flag or a local one. It means organizing, protesting, debating, and refusing to be silenced. We honor those who sacrificed for freedom, from Sankara to Mandela, and we carry that torch forward. Each of us has a duty to think for ourselves, to question propaganda, and to seek genuine knowledge. Education is the lifeblood of this courage. Knowledge is not just for the elite. We will ensure every child and adult can learn and contribute. In South Africa today, for example, only 9.8% of employed youth have a university degree. We recognize that must change. Every skilled teacher we train, every book we publish, is a step toward an empowered generation. True leadership is service to the community, not a pursuit of privilege. We embrace the principle of leadership as service. Organizations like the Emerging Leaders Foundation in Kenya teach this value. Leaders must be anchored on law values-based approach to leadership as service. That means taking care of our neighbors, mentoring younger peers, and building institutions that work for ordinary people. When a young Nigerian starts a literacy club in his village, she is practicing leadership. When South African students tutor children in informal settlements, they are demonstrating leadership. Each act of service paves the way for a country led by its citizens, not by a distant few. These values, sovereignty, unity, innovation, courage, education, service are not abstract. They will shape our actions every day. When we debate policy, we will ask, does this strengthen Africa's sovereignty? Does it unite us? Does it spark new solutions? We will reject anything that undermines our future, handouts that create dependence, policies that keep us divided, or leaders who forget they serve us. Our struggle is not confined to one nation. From South Africa's Cape Town to Burkina Faso's Ouagadougou, we face similar struggles and share the same destiny. In South Africa, a country of striking potential, nearly half of young people face unemployment. We are inspired by South African youth who marched for justice, education, and equality, echoing the cries of freedom from Soweto to current student movements. Across West Africa, youth in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have risen to claim leadership of their own lands. Through sorrow and hope, we all yearn for an Africa at peace and prospering. Pan-Africanism teaches us that our future is bound together. We will build strong ties between youth organizations in different countries. A young coder in Nairobi, an agricultural entrepreneur in Ghana, and a student leader in Johannesburg, each has wisdom to share. We will create networks of mentorship, exchange programs, and joint ventures. When one African youth succeeds, it lifts us all. The African Union's vision even calls for engaged and empowered youth and children, where all the citizens of Africa will be actively involved in decision-making. We take this seriously. No government can plan our future without our voices. We will insist on having seats at the table in parliaments, councils, and community councils. Let us remember the words of Pan-African leaders: we are stronger together. What if our markets were integrated, allowing goods, services, and people to move freely across borders? What if we supported each other's tech startups and cultural projects? Unity means we rise together from poverty. It means defending each other when one of us is attacked, when neo-colonial powers try to divide us, painting some of our leaders as enemies, or bribing politicians. We will see through it. We will rise as one continent of over 1 billion people, 1 billion dreams and ambitions. Young African leaders of tomorrow must lead by serving today. Every initiative starts with someone willing to act. You, the youth, are already leaders in your families, your schools, your online communities. We call on you to take this further, to volunteer in local clinics, teach in rural schools, register young voters, or start a youth council in your city. Civic engagement, participation in local government, civil society, and the electoral process is not optional. It is our obligation. Each time you cast a vote, attend a community meeting, or speak up against injustice, you are breaking the old mold of passive citizenry. As one Kenyan program puts it, leadership must be grounded in civic consciousness and responsibility. This means using our talents for the common good. An engineer who builds affordable housing, a farmer who shares modern techniques with neighbors, a student who organizes a clean up drive, all these are acts of leadership. We will insist that our leaders respect the motto, from the people, by the people, for the people. In practice, that means demanding transparency from governments and accountability for decisions. Use social media wisely, expose corruption, demand policies that empower youth and women, and amplify voices that seek justice. If a policy hurts the poor or betrays national interest, speak out. Organize peacefully but insistently. As youth of Africa, we inherit the energy of revolutionaries like Patrice Lumumba and Frantz Fanon, and the vision of Nkrumah. We carry that legacy by shaping laws and budgets that fund schools instead of foreign wars, by serving on citizen advisory boards, and by ensuring no group in society is left behind. Consider this: the AU's Agenda 2063 envisions an Africa of good governance, democracy, respect for human rights, and peace, security, and stability. None of this is possible without active citizens. We embrace our duty to build those institutions, to demand a culture where leaders come to power only by earning people's trust and stay in power only by proving their service. And if existing institutions fail us, it is our duty to reform them or build new ones that truly serve. Education is the foundation of all progress. When every child, boy or girl, has access to quality schooling, the path out of poverty becomes clear. Yet today millions of African children still cannot go to school, and millions of youth drop out or fail to get technical training. We will change that. Across Africa, social programs show the way. When families have enough to eat and can send their children to school, entire communities rise up. We must expand these programs. We must train more teachers, build more schools, and invest in curricula that teach critical thinking, science, and history, not just rote memorization. Education is also a tool to fight neocolonialism. We will study our history honestly, the triumphs of independence heroes, and the mistakes we must not repeat. We will learn global skills, coding, engineering, medicine, and apply them to local problems. We will learn business skills so that young entrepreneurs can turn ideas into businesses. Because as Brookings highlights, every successful new African business adds growth and jobs. Of the creation of 10 successful new businesses has the potential to add $1.4 billion to a country's GDP and create upwards of 400 new jobs. Imagine 10 such ventures sprouting in every country. That is the power of innovation. We will also embrace technology. Let rural villages tap into the internet for education and markets. Let African scientists work on cures for diseases that other countries neglect. Let our architects and engineers innovate affordable housing and renewable energy suited to our climates. Each university lab and tech startup is a seed of independence. We will protect these seedlings by funding research and by bringing back talent, stopping the brain drain where our brightest travel and never return. No dream is too big as youth. We have seen Africans land on the moon through global partnerships, develop drones to fight locusts, and create apps that help small farmers. We will build on these successes. We will demand that our governments fund research instead of handing out loans. We will mentor each other across borders. A Ghanaian coder can teach a Tanzanian student by Skype. A Zimbabwean entrepreneur can share lessons with a Senegalese ally. In doing so, we turn education into empowerment. Our fight for freedom includes control over our economies. Too long our wealth has flowed into foreign pockets. We reject any system where Africans remain cheap labor or cheap goods for others. Instead, we will take ownership of our industries, agriculture, mining, manufacturing, technology, and ensure they serve local needs first. We will form cooperatives, worker-owned companies, and ethical partnerships that keep profits in Africa. Youth entrepreneurship is the engine of this change. Across Nigeria, Kenya, Ethiopia, and beyond, startups led by young people are emerging every day. Many build solutions to local problems: solar, powered water pumps, affordable healthcare apps, mobile banking for the unbanked. We will celebrate these heroes of our economy. Governments and investors must follow suit, funding youth enterprises that respect our values. We note that international partners are noticing our rise. The African Union and its allies have programs like the Youth Startup Program of IATF 2025 to connect innovators. But we cannot wait on handouts. Our power lies in our own creativity. If your community lacks jobs, don't despair, build one. Turn a skill into a business. If you know a problem like hungry children or broken roads, innovate a solution. There are countless examples. Young Africans are turning plastic waste into building bricks, mobile phones into money, transfer tools, and idle land into thriving farms. We also demand better education to employment pathways. In South Africa, for example, the statistics are stark. Nearly half of young people ages 15-34 are unemployed. Yet data show that with even a little work experience or training, young people find jobs much more often. This must guide our policies: more apprenticeships, internships, and vocational programs so that a youth can gain skills and then gain employment. If we plant these ladders of opportunity, our young people will climb out of poverty and drive our economies forward. Finally, economic empowerment means owning our markets. We will promote Made in Africa, goods across the continent and the world. We will buy from each other first, so that East African farmers buy grains from West African farmers and Pan-African trade thrives. Through regional free trade zones, We will remove barriers that keep us small. When African youth buy and support African products, we build interdependence and solidarity among ourselves. Our movement is African, but our vision is global. Africa's youth generation stands as a beacon for all oppressed peoples. You who watch from Lagos, Luanda, Durban, or Douala have a message for the world. Freedom and justice are universal. We draw inspiration from global struggles, from youth climate activists demanding action, to students and protesters who have toppled tyrants in distant lands. And we offer our example in return. We will engage with the global community, not as supplicants, but as equals. We will challenge the international narrative when it paints Africa only as crisis or conflict. We will bring our voices to the UN halls, to the G20, to every space where decisions are made, reminding them that a resurgent Africa has much to teach. But we will not wait on international approval. Our first responsibility is to our people. At home, we will hold governments accountable. Elections should be more than ceremonies. They should be the moment when youth power is felt. We will register our friends to vote. We will monitor results. And if a leader betrays the people, we will demand better. This is not just democracy for democracy's sake. It is our chance to install leaders who will champion our values of service, education, and innovation. Beyond politics, civic duty means taking care of each other. A true leader is a servant. Visit the sick, help the hungry, defend the weak. Each African culture cherishes community. The Swahili say, Asubuhi njema huvusha asubuhi njema. Good morning attracts a good morning. With every kind act, every mentorship, every act of honesty, we break the corrupt cycles of the past. And remember, building civil society is as important as building infrastructure. We will start NGOs, youth cooperatives, artistic collectives, tech hubs, and sports leagues that unite us. Through conferences and festivals, we will spread ideas of Pan-African unity and resistance to injustice. We will mentor the next generation as we are mentored now. As the late Sankara said, we must carry out a revolution without dancing, out of step with reality. Our reality demands that we be active participants. Now is the time to turn vision into action. Let us pledge what we will do together, seek knowledge relentlessly. Read history, science, and the stories of our heroes. Teach others what you learn. Host study groups, community classes, or online channels where youth share skills and ideas. Form or join youth groups that focus on development, whether agriculture, technology, arts, or social change. Build cross-border networks. Remember, an entrepreneur in Ethiopia and a student in Senegal can collaborate online to multiply impact. Use your voice. Discuss issues with elders and peers. Write blog posts, sing protest songs, or create videos about what matters to you. Shout down inequality and injustice whenever you see it. Volunteer in schools, clinics, and clean up campaigns. Join community service programs. Service shows others what real leadership is. For example, a Nigerian youth leader might start a literacy drive in his village. A South African youth might tutor children in math and science. Each such act is a seed for our future. If something needs fixing, be it a leaky roof, a broken phone, or a drone for farming, go fix it. Launch that startup or cooperative. Participate in hackathons and innovation hubs. Use microfinance, crowdfunding, or local resources to make your project real. Vote when you can, and hold officials accountable in between elections. Advocate for policies that improve education, technology, and jobs for youth. If no party represents you, form youth wings that push for progress. Civic duty is not optional, it is our responsibility. Celebrate the successes of other African youth, even far away. If a friend starts a business, help publicize it. If a young filmmaker makes a great documentary, share it with your network. Solidarity means we rise by lifting others. These steps, multiplied by millions of youth, will change our reality. We cannot wait for permission or easy solutions. History rewards the bold. Each one of us is part of a movement bigger than ourselves. Young Africans, the morning is here. We stand on the threshold of a new dawn. Our eyes have been opened, our hearts set ablaze. The chains of the past may rattle, but they are breaking by our hands. Inspired by leaders like Captain Traoré, by our ancestors' sacrifices, and by each other, we will transform Africa. Let the entire world hear our rallying cry, we are rising. Not to imitate others, but to show the world what Africa can do when its youth take charge. Imagine the continent of our dream schools, buzzing with learning, fields heavy with harvest, factories and labs humming with creation, governments of the people for the people. This is not a fantasy, it is a future we will build step by step. Today, say to yourself and your neighbor, I am part of the revolution. In every classroom, workshop, village meeting, and online chat, let us speak of unity and hope. Let us refuse despair. Stand together as Africans first. Do not whisper these words, shout them on social media, in markets, in city squares. Declare that we will be the generation that broke free from neocolonialism, that put Africans in charge of Africa's destiny. To the youth watching now, you are the next generation of leaders. Whether you are in Bamako, Pretoria, Nairobi, or the neighborhood down the street, the task is the same. Rise up, not with anger alone, but with love for your country and your people. Educate yourself, innovate for your community, and act with courage. Help others learn and grow as you do. Show the world the power of African youth. The baton of history is being passed. Will you catch it and run with it? Africa is calling for new leaders. The world is watching to see what we do. Let our answer be clear and strong. Yes, we will lead. We will uphold our sovereignty, our unity, and our human dignity. We will harness our talents for Africa's renaissance. In doing so, we inspire not only our continent, but all people who hunger for justice. In the words of Captain Traoré, let us join together in solidarity to defeat imperialism and neo-colonialism. Let us turn our rage into action, our hopes into hard work, and our dreams into reality. This is the time of youth rising. Let it be said by history that when our moment came, we chose courage over comfort, responsibility over apathy. So rise up, Africa's youth. The future is yours to shape. Go forth and lead the way with vision, with heart, and with unwavering solidarity. The world is ready for what you will become.